Hey again, everyone, it's Sally. Today I'm very excited to make a Christmas themed drawing, even though I know this is going up after Christmas. But I wanted to use the brand new Ohuhu Pastel brush marker set. I love coloring with alcohol markers, and I was super excited to try these out. I also want to mention that I am not sponsored by Ohuhu at all. I'm going to get my complete unbiased and honest thoughts. And there's been a ton of hype around these like new pastel markers. I can attest to that personally because I'm part of the hype. I've been really excited for these specific ones. And we're also gonna test out the pens as well, the fine liners, and see how that holds up against the markers and just overhaul my thoughts. So yeah, let's check them out. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Wow, these are just so beautiful. I'm so excited to test these colors out because look at the colors on those caps. Alright, so let's get that package stood up, kind of like a display. That's kind of how I usually like to have my markers posted up, you know? Look at this plastic sheet thing that Ohuhu now includes with their sets. It was a different material before in the set that I got last year, but that's really handy for putting under the piece of paper you're using just to make sure that, it doesn't bleed through. And I'm just using a single sheet of Copic paper that I got maybe like 10 years ago that I haven't really used too much of, but it comes in handy sometimes, especially because it's really good with alcohol markers. And I'll be using it to swatch these markers and those pens. I got my fine line drawing pens. This is what they look like. So we have a nice, beautiful selection of sizes, which will come in handy in all types of drawings. Okay, so before moving on, I want to show you the Ohuhu markers that I already own to just kind of give a comparison. It is the Ohuhu's first 48 count set that I got back in June or July, I think it was, of 2019. But you can see all these colors are super vibrant, and the set overall just really needed some of those pastel colors to tie, the illustrations together. So overall, I think it looks really good. Here is the swatch sheet I made back a year and a half ago. So we're gonna make a very similar one today. So some of my first impressions of these markers were definitely that they were just really pretty colors. I was so excited about all the skin tone colors I could use because in my other set I didn't really have as much of a variety of skin undertones as I would like. So yeah, the colors are really pretty on the cap, but we will swatch them out just to make sure. What I love about these Ohuhu brush markers is that they are double-sided. They have a brush nib on one end and a broad nib on the other. You can see on my older swatch sheet how you can get the thick lines with the broad tip and the nice varying line width. But let's see how they look on paper. And I'm just going to speed through this section because albeit satisfying, it's going to take a long time. So yeah, we're just going to go through this really fast and I'll be back with some more voiceover after. right, it's finally done. Take a look at that. This is actually a lot bigger. I guess I did these a lot smaller, so I fit a bunch more. But whatever. This was like a year and a half ago, so it's okay. First impression, just with all the colors laid down, I think that, I mean, regardless, I am so excited to have a pastel set, especially these like different skin tones, because in this other set that I had, this 48 color set, I had some pretty good darker skin tones, like this like more olive, yellow, orange, YR1, YR5. I love these colors for skin, but I didn't really have any like really light skin colors. I got away with using WG01 sometimes, but I really wanted some like earthy pale skin colors, especially for layering, and now I have it. So, you know, R080, E090, these are all really good for skin colors. It doesn't entirely make sense. All you really need to know is like the color families, which do line up and make sense. You know, R is reds, RVs. You know, some of them are interesting. I really like this E280 for skin color as well. But some of the colors are also still really, really vibrant, like this YR110 and this G020 are like super, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but they're like super neon colors, which are okay. I mean, there's plenty of actual pastel in here, and these are just, you know, not as saturated. But yeah, I'm really excited to use these in a piece. This is a swatch. I will swatch the pens that I got with them as well, just to do it all, and then I'll be back later to do a piece. I already ripped the packaging, so like don't plan on probably keeping these in its original packaging. I mean, it literally like ripped like from nothing. Little did I know they actually gave you swatch cards, which is a really nice touch, honestly. Like, I wish I noticed this earlier, but I really like it. I think it's a really cool touch. All right, so before we go into full illustration mode, I've got my Colerase color pencils here, and I put the Ohuhu markers in this pencil case. I'm going to go into my sketchbook, which I'm actually almost done with. I only have one last spread, so 1, 2, 3 pages left. And I'm gonna sketch out some ideas. I'm gonna thumbnail some drawings. I don't want to go into a full illustration just yet. I wanna go with a little bit of a plan, kind of looking at these colors on the side as inspiration as well. So I'm going to take out a pencil. I'll use Carmine Red because it's probably going to be Christmas themed, of course. And since the sketchbook is almost done, I might do a sketchbook tour and show you guys what's in this. But for now, let's just get to drawing something for trying out these pastel markers. All right, so let's sketch out roughly the dimensions, or I guess the ratio of my Ohuhu sketchbook. I'm thinking of a couple ideas. I want to draw my character. One of my characters, Sally, who's, I know, a very creative name. It's a character I created in my childhood, so it'd be fun to draw her with her, you know, yellow hair with maybe a nice red or Santa outfit. And I want to do some plant elements, so either a wreath or maybe some poinsettias. Maybe mistletoe? Let's see. Actually, I have to practice drawing these things if I want those to be in here, but we'll see. So if I do a wreath, I wanted to do a wreath kind of like as the frame of the drawing. What do wreaths look like anyways? I don't know. I'll just draw like a fluffy circle. And then maybe I can do a wreath with like a mistletoe here in the middle. Something like that, and then the characters kind of here in the middle, and a smaller head. Not sure what pose I want to have her doing. Maybe just like a open arm, like tilted head, and like a dress. Maybe like a nice like poofy Santa dress. That's one idea. I think I would like to do that idea. I'll try some other thumbnail ideas. See, because I really like the composition of this because that's something I have been trying to get better at, but I don't know. We'll see. So I was looking on Pinterest for some Santa outfits, and I really like either this one, the one on the right, kind of with like the mid sleeves, and like the V-neck, or like the high neck and the no sleeve. I mean, I think what would fit the character more is probably one like this. Thinking like definitely a wreath would be a really good way to incorporate a lot of green into it, because we do have a lot of really pretty like pastel greens. I think these would look so good. The reds are going to be really pastel. This is like the darkest red in here. So out of these three, I'm not really sure. I might do like a mix and match, kind of like maybe one of these two poses inside the wreath. So I'll be back later with a sketchbook, and we'll get down to business. And that just about wraps up our video. I hope you enjoyed coming along this journey with me. I definitely overall had a really good experience with these markers. I think that the colors lay down so evenly and beautifully, and I definitely needed this pastel set to complement the Ohuhu markers I've already owned. In terms of, if I would recommend these markers, if you're new or already experienced with alcohol markers, I'm sure that you will find a very pleasant experience with these. They are really cheap. I paid $45 for the 48 count, so that's a little less than $1 per marker, which is still extremely cheap when compared to other brands like Copic, which are a little bit more high end. In terms of how these can perform, they are amazing. I highly recommend them, and I'm sure you'll have an awesome time drawing with them just like I did. So thank you again so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, drop a like for this video. Drop me a comment, tell me anything that you'd want to see in the future going forward, and I'll see you in the next video.